There are so many demos and tutorial demos. I thought that one was the best one because it showcases the best features of this game. Hi guys, welcome. Scatlink here, and we are off for Pikmin 2. Wanted to do this quite a while ago, but of course never happened because, you know, other stuff got in the way. I'm talking about the Urba Challenge as well as everything else. I mean, it probably would have happened before the Urba Challenge, but I wanted to do the Urba Challenge, and that happened. And now, in 2015, we're doing this, even though I kept saying it during 2014, we were going to do it. And yes, I am playing the Wii version. So, I'm going to have better controls. I mean, obviously the AI won't be any different, because after Pikmin 2 for GameCube, Pikmin 1, Pikmin 2 for Wii came out, and that was kind of how that worked. Just ignore most of these selections, mostly when it comes to high scores, bonuses, challenge mode, because I believe only Begin, 2 Battle, and Options will be available. So let's go check Options very quickly. Yep, everything is okay. We don't need to do anything here. So let's get out of there. Just making sure everything's all fine. By the way, the title screen also changes season, which is a pretty nice thing. So yeah, playing this on the Wii. I'm actually playing this on the Wii U. I'm playing the Wii version, but I'm actually playing the Wii U. I've done like a practice file just to get used to the controls here. So let me erase both of these, because I need one for backup and one for normal, because no save states, of course, or because this ain't Virtual Console or anything. I mean, even if it was. You know what, this game and Pikmin 1 should be on the Wii U Virtual Console at some point, but I've got the discs, so it's fine. And, like I said, I'm playing the Wii game on the Wii U, so it's upscaled in HD for your viewing pleasure. It's a little bit of an annoyance to record, considering that the Roxio likes to sometimes glitch up the footage for some bizarre reason at certain intervals, but if I close down the program and reopen it, it's perfectly fine, so I'm going to use file 3 for this. File 2 will be the backup. Hocotate Freight is a long-haul deep space shipping company. One day, its only employee of any merit, Captain Olimar's here. Boom! Crashed into an uncharted planet while on an interstellar vacation. There he was aided by indigenous creatures, which he called Pikmin. In the end, Captain Olimar escaped, using his final smash, but in Olimar's absence, his employer, Hocotate Freight, ran into financial difficulties. So yeah, this game takes place immediately after the first game. I don't know if that's the case for Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 3, but we'll get to Pikmin 3 sometime down the road. And the verses that me and Meryl did a couple of years ago will be included in the playlist as well. And there's Planet Hocotate, a double Saturn ring right here, and Hocotate Freight is not looking good. Man, we were only gone for half a month. What the hell? We were only gone for like 2 weeks. President of Hocotate Freight and local employee Louie. And our nice spiffing Dolphin. All nice and shiny. Olimar's personal ship, remember that. All the part. Olimar, I'm so glad you're safe. Yes, very glad. Quite glad. But sadly, I have an announcement that is not so glad. Our company is going under. Yes, we're finished. On his first mission, Louie here ran into a ravenous space bunny, his face, and his tiny load of golden pig brand carrots was eaten. Whoa! Nom 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 nom. He's so funny, and the sounds he makes is awesome as well. I took on an enormous loan to repay the debt from his loss. I decided to sell off corporate assets to repay the loan. And apparently, the Dolphin is part of the company, even though it's Olimar's personal custom-made ship. But the only asset we had to sell was your ship, the SS Dolphin. As for the rest of our loan... Holy damn, we're in debt. There's no means to repay it. But Olimar, if you remember the end of the game, found a souvenir for his son after we picked up the piggy bank, which we've also lost, by the way. Olimar, what is that? You brought back a souvenir for your kid? Oh, Louie knows what's up. Oh, I hate this ship, I really do. Treasure, treasure, treasure. Money, money, money. I hate this ship. And why is it the most iconic ship of the series? Its initiating value of recovered treasure. This artifact is worth 100 Pokos. This thing's worth 100 Pokos? That's more than a year's salary. Really? So that means we've got 100 years worth of salary to earn. Great. What? There are more on that planet? We can repay our debt! Louie you dolt! Look alive! You must depart immediately with Captain Olimar's. And this ship is crazy powerful, but it's also a rickety barge. Apparently it's very slow and requires a propeller while cruising, and it can't handle it, but when taking off it just punches through the atmosphere. Warp drive isn't that bad though, I'll say that much. But the bloody ship is annoying. Seriously, Olimar doesn't talk at all during this game, which he did in the first one. Avoid that asteroid, that causes every problem. God damn, so yep, we're back to planet Pikmin here, planet Earth, and we're landing in a new place called Valley of Repose. Watch out guys, we're coming in for a landing. Oh Jesus! What? Man down, man down! Ship is losing control, going all chaotic and whatnot. Whoa! Just chucks all of them around. What the hell? It's funny, but still. That was close. I have averted a crash landing. Running diagnostics. Alert! Danger! Louie is missing. He must have somehow fallen out of his cockpit. He is not responding by his communicator. He is either flouting protocol or in danger. Olimar, we must find Louie before he freezes to death in the cold of this planet. Wait a moment, look. Oh look, it's a bulb orb! And Pikmin are fighting it! Steve! No Steve, no. We all know how you get when you're around Pikmin. Meatball, Clay with chance of meatball reference right there. Could these be Pikmin? They look like they're about to be devoured as we speak. You must help them. Point to the screen and press B to call them with your whistle. You can also hold B to make the sound of your whistle carry further, remember? Funny thing is, that's the exact same controls as the GameCube. So of course, you can't use GameCube controls. You have to use the Wiimote. You have the pointer, which, by the way, these Pikmin won't die until we call them, so that's actually a good thing, so I can actually cover some stuff here. Plus, it's day one, we've got no time limit, so yeah. Notice that I've got free movement of the cursor. Not only that, it goes way further than you would expect. But notice that if I try to go a little bit further from that threshold, that little circle is where Pikmin will be thrown, but I can call Pikmin from way further than where I could normally have it in the GameCube version. So it makes things a little bit easier. We have a little bit more reach, and we can call Pikmin from way from the edges of the screen, which is amazing. You can change the camera with button presses of the control pad, except for down. Holding down allows you to direct your Pikmin. Holding circle, I believe, does some. Oh yeah, pressing circle disbands your Pikmin. Holding Z, obviously, press Z. Centers the camera from behind you. Pressing A throws your Pikmin. Holding B calls them, of course. 1 and 2 don't do anything at the moment. Minus doesn't do anything at the moment, but we'll get into that in a minute. And plus, obviously, is pause and home menu does what you would think, brings you to the Wii home menu. And yeah, so we've already got a radar, which is very nice. It's also a lot more graphical, which is very, very helpful. So we got our usual counters, onion, leader, free, blah 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 blah, the same usual stuff there. We've got our actual pause menu here, it's all rolled into one, which is very nice. Exploration kit, some treasures give you certain perks, so we need to get all of them. We're going for 100%, so don't worry about that. And yeah, that's it. Of course, once again, the top part of the number 4 is north. So now that you've pretty much got a rundown of the controls, I'm not entirely too sure how you can access the controls, like we could in the GameCube version, but well, in GameCube version of Pikmin 1, or in just Pikmin 1 in general, because you can access the controls. But you told them anyway, because this shit doesn't want to shut up. Then again, I'm the motor map as well, so whatever. The Pikmin ran to your side. They seem to remember you, Captain Olimar. How fascinating. Give them instructions and do not delay. Hold A to grab a Pikmin, then point at the screen and release to throw it. And grabbing a Pikmin and switching them in this game is actually very good, because if you hold one... Well, I can't exactly switch them right now, because I've only got one type of Pikmin. But I believe if you press C while holding a Pikmin, you can actually switch really easily. So yeah, now this thing can actually kill your Pikmin, but we don't want that. So we can't actually pick this thing up at the moment, but once we kill it and try to pick it up, this happens. Attention, Captain Olimar, I have just re-established my communications link with Louie. G. It is fortunate we have managed to confirm his safety. Press minus to communicate with him. I am quite interested in the details of his condition. So basically, pressing minus allows you to, well, switch characters. We have 2 captains in this game, which means more multitasking and more diverse strategies. And a lot of enemies will focus on the captain, so that is active. So a lot of strategy than usual. Louie, allow me to assess your condition as per our safety protocols. Are you at all injured? Is that so? Then my concerns are eased. Our communication link shows you are nearby. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to even play as him. Can you make your way to our location and rejoin us? I will navigate for you. Press plus to contact me and obtain information about the terrain, basically looking at the radar. Which I've already covered, because I'm ahead. And look at that, you can actually see the little imprint right here. And yes, Louie has all the same functions as Olimar, only that his one sounds like an old train whistle. A steam whistle, that's it. It sounds like a steam whistle than anything else. So yeah, got pellet posies here, we found the red onion, and because the Pikmin are cut off from the red onion, the onion will have to spat out 1 Pikmin, as per usual, because there's no Pikmin in the area that can actually reach the onion. Louie, the odd object before you appears to be one of the onions mentioned in Olimar's report. Boop. I love Louie's expression. Watch this. Ooh! The seed the onion ejected just sprouted. According to Olimar's report, it can be plucked with A. And obviously, mashing A allows you to pluck all the Pikmin in the area very quickly. And if you have another team member, if you have the other captain with you, they'll start plucking as well. But if they're in the area, they won't do it by themselves, unlike a Pikmin 3, because Pikmin 3 has obviously much more better AI. Hello. Look at that flat texture. You can actually see it better because it's HD. Well, upscaled HD. You know what I mean. Louie, this must be one of the Pikmin creatures from Olimar's report. It is staring at you. Why do you say that? You already knew. You can use A to throw a Pikmin and issue orders to it. Press B to call it back to you. You can disband your squad with C. Interesting. Olimar's description of creatures resembling Pikmin carrots was strikingly accurate, which is why Louie went, oh my god, walking sentient food. Louie, my sensors have detected drool in the corner of your mouth. Are you alright? I love the humour though. I mean, I don't like the ship, but I do like the conversation sometimes. Oh my god! Walking carrots! It's the end! It's the end! Vegetarians must flee! This is messed up, man. That's like the thoughts going through Louie's head right now. That's how I always thought it. But anyway, Pikmin AI since Pikmin 1 GameCube version. Chuck a Pikmin at a pellet posy. It knocks the pellet posy down, stays there for a second, and actually picks up the damn pellet, which is what wasted a lot of my time in Pikmin 1. Like I said, I don't have the Wii version of Pikmin 1. Super Linkario has that copy, and I don't, so I had to do the GameCube version. But I still know the game pretty well. This game I don't know as well as Pikmin. I think Pikmin 2 I have like less for game plan, but then again that's because you have infinite days. I'll get into that later, because we're going to get more tutorials. The onion ejected more seeds. The pellet from that flower must have hold nutrients that breed Pikmin. Yes, the Pikmin gather nutrients, hold them to the onion, and further propagate the species. The onion is a Pikmin mothership. Oh shit. Reviewing Olimar's report, it seems repeatedly tapping A allows you to pluck Pikmin sprouts. I'm sorry if that robotic voice is getting annoying, but it kind of hones in the fact that it's annoying, and for some reason I lost my pointer there for a second. Can I get a one shot on this thing? Ah, god damn it. Well, you know what? They're all doing stuff, so I'll knock this one down myself, because we can punch! Wow, that was quick. I think the frames for punching in this game are a little bit heightened, excuse me, because I can punch a lot quicker than usual. So yeah, we just need to build our team up right now, so that's all we're pretty much doing here. Oh my god! It's like Pikmin confetti! Oh, the Steves! Hug me! Can't wait to get back to Jeff. Remember him, that one yellow who just barely slid for no reason and was the one who caused us some problems in the Forest Naval? Jesus. That was 2 years ago, holy crap. It doesn't feel like that. It like half feels like that long, because we have done a couple of long LPs on the channel. But still. I don't know. Anyway, we've got 10 Pikmin with us right now, so that's all well and dandy. You actually get a lot less Pikmin than you do normally. And oh my god, it's a Duracell battery! Funnily enough, I'm using, am I using? I feel like I'm going to get this wrong. Yep, I'm using rechargeable energizers, excuse me. I thought that would have been a funny thing. I guess it was funnier because it was wrong. Perhaps this object is one of the treasures that we were searching for. The only reason we found it here is because this is where you crash landed. How fortunate. I would like to appraise it, but we must regroup with Olimar first. Can you see him? Press Z to move the camera behind you. You can also press left or right on the control pad to zoom, and up on the control pad to change angles. So yeah, this is a Duracell battery. Now the thing is with treasures, some of them may have slightly different values, some of them may have different textures. Of course this one looks like a Duracell battery, I think it may be something else in other countries. But basically, depending on the version of the game, they'll just look different, they may be slightly different priced, but there are still 201 treasures in the game. I am not kidding. So there's like no way you can't win this game. So let's just chuck 15 Pikmin up here, which we only have 11 on this side, so we need to take our 5 over here, flatten it down, and there we go. And I can't call Louie because of reasons. But that's how you would normally rejoin with him. God's sake! Shut up! Captain Olimar, Louie, you are reunited at last. This has been a troublesome start to our trip. Yeah, that goes without saying. But now you must feel assured that your combined wits we can get through anything, correct? From now on, use B to form a single group and take solo action. Press minus to change leaders. At least the Dolphin was silent. I mean, even though you have the analog computer, which apparently makes the computer a lot more moody, like the built-in computer, at least it didn't talk to us, and but in this game they do. So let's just check a ton of Pikmin on here, because we can't actually pick up this Duracell battery, I don't think. I think I'm going to use 6 Pikmin to pick that one up. If you want to get through here, we can't at the moment because we need 35 Pikmin and there's literally no more food in this level. Yeah. And funnily thing is, you have to actually max out the amount of Pikmin that you can get in this day in order to progress. Unlike in Pikmin 1, where you're able to build up a few extra Pikmin before you end the day. Because you don't have to get every single pellet in order to pick up the engine. So this thing requires... Oh, they need to dig it up. Shit. Well, let me just hold down so I can direct them. See, that's how you direct them like this. It's a nice little change. And I've still got one thing with me. Now, I like a Pikmin 3 because, you know, obviously that's out now. You can't just chuck your other captains. You have to just dismiss them. But that also dismisses your entire squad. So that makes it slightly annoying. Because normally you would like to split up by just chucking a certain amount of Pikmin over. But, oh well. And yeah, it's nice that we can actually turn by doing this. Oh, Olimar's getting tired. He yawns already. He's getting bored of these tutorials, and so am I. I mean, we're already 20 minutes into this damn video, and we're still trying to progress. Haven't been wasting too much time. Day 1 takes forever. Speaking of Pikmin, Massinella just started Pikmin 1, which is kind of cool. I'm watching that. She's not an expert, she's already said, but I'm excited to see the Let's Play. Okay, so this thing requires 20, and that's all that we have. There is literally no more food in this level. You have to get the maximum 20. Right, Louie, come with me, because we're just going to have to wait for these guys to hurry up. So yeah, as you notice, every captain does have their own health bar. If one captain fails, you can still play with the one captain. It's just going to make things a lot harder if you need both captains for something. Obviously, it's not going to have any leapfrog stuff like Pikmin 3 has, but I'm going to stop talking about Pikmin 3 now, because that one has 3 captains. Jeez, I wonder if Pikmin 4 will have 4 captains. Oh my god. Just keep making every sequel in the games... yeah, just make every sequel more harder to manage your stuff. Because 2 captains was cool, 3 captains was a little bit gimmicky, but it still worked. But 4 captains, that's just pushing it, man. I mean, technically, you have 3 captains in this game anyway, but that's spoilers. Anyway, what I was getting back to while we're waiting for these guys to come over is, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, this game has unlimited days. It says it on the back of the box. This game, you're not stuck by a time limit like a Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 3. You have literally infinite time. I think the day limit just hits 99, but you can continue playing for as long as you want, as long as you don't grab the final treasure, I believe? Actually, no, if you do grab the final treasure, you can just come back and keep improving your score. So, yeah, you can just have fun with that. So, at least I was able to fill that silence in with something. Doodly-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. This is more than 2.5 years' salary. Almost 3 years. Courage Reactor. It's a Duracell, and they went all out with the smoothness. I mean, look at that. Have you ever seen a smoother model for GameCube standards? I mean, even in Wind Waker you can still see a few polygons in their cel-shaded graphics, but this is well smooth. Not only that, the detail is amazing. You've got all the information you need, and apparently it says on there March 2010, so maybe they updated the label from the GameCube version to this version. I'm not too sure, but anyway. Our first day of exploration has yielded our first treasure. It will be done. We will be done in record time. I took the liberty of naming it when I appraised it. The name reflects my current thinking. Yeah, that makes perfect sense for a computer to say, doesn't it? Leave it to me to think up catchy names for hit products. It is but one of my many talents. We shall end our first day here and report back to our president. His face will surely be joyous. However, to communicate with Hocotate, we must fly into low orbit above the planet. We will not return to the surface in 2 mornings so as to avoid the indigenous nocturnal creatures once again. And that's day 1! That is day 1, filled with bloody tutorials left, right and centre. Unbelievable. And once again, it took us like 23 minutes to get through, even though this day felt longer than the first day one that we did. And plus, another reason why I wanted to do this on the Wii U, not just because it's upscaled in HD, but because the Dazzle only records in 4:3. If I try to record in 1080, if I try to record in 69, sometimes it shows up, sometimes it don't, and when it does, of course, it's still 4:3, so it's squished. Of course, I could just stretch it during during editing in Sony Vegas, and it will look okay, but it will also look a little bit blurry, even though it will be easy to record. So it was like, what do I do? Take the easy route and not have the best, well, have the native quality, or try and improve the quality by running it through superior hardware? And I decided on the latter, so yeah. That's all we had. There's not really much to look at, but if we press Z, we can actually find out what we could get killed by, or Pikmin can get killed by. Battle, sunset, fire, water, electricity, explosion, and poison. That's new. Poison. You would think that the puff stall in the previous game would actually be poison, but no, they just die from battle. So they count as die from battle or explosion. I can't remember which. But yeah, there's one new problem here. Well, actually, I guess you could call electricity a new problem as well, because fire and water were already present. So we got like 2 new hazards to deal with in this game. But we've also got 2 new Pikmin to deal with in this game if you haven't already looked at the box work, or the intros, like when you boot up the game. You found your first bit of treasure, fine work. Our future depends on your efforts, so check your treasure hoard regularly. I'll check it often, keep up the pace. And his eyes are open. Big chubby president. So there we go. We can't exactly go anywhere else. So for the first time in the Pikmin series, we're going to have to go back to the first area of the game immediately. But we've got the Piklopedia here, which I'm not entirely too interested about. But of course, we're going for 100%. We're going to have to fill it all in. I think there is something that that's quite hard to actually get. I think it's the Caddy Pop Buds, because normally you wouldn't use them, but yeah, that's a thing. And of course, Treasure Hoard, which is what we're actually interested in. You can press plus for Olimar's Journal, which allows us to talk about the items. I guess we'll do this at the end of every day when we get an item, just to cover stuff. We've recovered our first treasure, amazingly. The Pikmin remembered how to salvage it. I can't remember their adorable I can't understand their adorable language, and I don't know what they're thinking yet. I'm happy to see them. When I crashed on this planet, the Pikmin helped me locate my missing ship parts. In my darkest hour, the Pikmin were there for me. Now that I'm reunited with them, I know everything will be alright. It will, right? You wish. Spoilers? I don't know. And yeah, you can press A to zoom in and have a look at them, and you can also chuck pick carrots to see what's going on. See how they attack Pikmin, which is pretty cool. Now, you actually got Louie's notes here. Louie just tells you how to cook them for food. For a blissful bisque, mince the entire mince the entire beast finely in stir in heavy cream. Artichoke hearts and a pinch of black pepper. Heat slowly to piping hot, rich and creamy. So apparently, dwarf bulb was like a delicacy. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, and of course, once again, we get Olimar's notes, and you get very nice information. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm only going to do the treasures for this. But of course, I will still get all the Piklopedia filled because it is 100%. And like I said, the verses will be in the playlist as well. That's going to be a little hard to manage because every time you add something it goes to the bottom, so I'm going to have to keep moving them up. But hey, that's a small price to pay because the verses was very fun. And a lot less full assault than Pikmin 3 once that starts getting uploaded. But Mesa doesn't know how to use Sony Vegas yet, so that's the thing. Anyway, in the next episode, guys, we'll go back to the Valley of Repose and do some stuff. See you guys then.